So personally, I actually got involved in SME when I was in college many years ago at Missouri S&T. But as a company, South32, we're new to the U.S. We have a development project right here in Arizona, down at the southern end of the state. Our board's just announced in the last couple of weeks a final investment decision to move that project to construction. So as we start to develop that project in the U.S., mining engineering, geologists, metallurgists, everyone that's part of SME becomes a really important part of building our business and getting the right people, and also getting engaged to be part of the solution in growing those disciplines and growing the talent in that space in the U.S. mining industry. Obviously, professional development's always important in any kind of career. And obviously with the declining numbers of mining engineers and mining schools and all of the challenges the industry has, I think it makes organizations like SME all the more important to have a fraternity of colleagues that you can lean on. I think networks are important. And as the societal expectations and everything changes around our industry, having opportunities to learn and draw on other people's experiences becomes even more important, and SME's always offered that. First of all, you have a lot of students, a lot of people that we need to expose to more of the industry. It's a great opportunity for them to see what the industry's like, the various opportunities and avenues and paths they have. But I think also just mixing the mining companies, the vendors, the education institutions, it's going to take all of us to really usher mining into the next generation and to where things are going, particularly the importance the industry has to a lot of the transitions that are going on in the world right now. So I think bringing together those that provide services to the industry, equipment to the industry, but also the companies conducting the work and the educational institutions that are providing a lot of the people resources makes these settings all the more important as we start to look to the future and what the future of mining looks like. It's a pretty common story. You know, a lot of people kind of fall into the industry. I went to school at Rolla to be an electrical engineer originally, and I had some friends that I played sports with in college that were working in underground coal mines in Southern Illinois, and they were making a lot of money, and I didn't know anything about mining. There's no mining in my family, but I wanted a good job in the summer, so they got me a job at an underground coal mine in Southern Illinois, and I went underground, worked straight night shift on a crew all summer, and I absolutely loved it. It got in my blood instantly. I went back and changed my major the next semester, and the rest is history. I've been in the industry for almost 32 years now. What attracted me at the time was kind of the team atmosphere that you had underground, how close-knit the people were, the relationships, how they work together. The industry's changing a lot. What I would sort of tell a lot of younger people coming into the industry is learn as much, get as diverse experience as you can, learn as much about the industry as you possibly can. The traditional technical disciplines will always be really important, but learn about communities, learn about environment, learn about permitting, learn about leadership and culture. All of those things have always been important, but they're becoming increasingly important. So I think diversifying your expertise and and what you actually have experienced in the industry is going to be really important. I can see a lot of instances where there's a lot of opportunity to learn things you wouldn't have. Once you get out of school, you lose connection to certain things. It's a little bit harder unless you have a really vast network to actually be able to draw on experience and expertise. And so I think particularly early to middle of your career, it's super important until you've kind of built up that professional network to be very involved in things like this, because you can draw on it either to learn things or create connections in ways that you couldn't have if you didn't have something like SME there. Our future is in this part of the world. A lot of our development, exploration, growth projects are going to be in North America, and it starts right here in Arizona. And so I think we feel like not only do we need to help be a part of growing the future talent that's going to actually take this industry forward, but also, working hand in hand with vendors and suppliers, sort of growing our company's network in the industry in the U.S. is really important as well. Not just for the people side, but also business relationships. So we're kind of in our infancy, but a huge upside potential to what we can establish here in the U.S. So we have to be a part of this because of that. One of the things that I think is going to be really important, and we talked about this a little bit in one of the sessions we just had earlier, but I think as the industry goes forward, we are going to have to be able to draw talent from all of the communities and from all of society. So I think one of the things that's important in a role I think SME can play is how do we start to bring in people into the industry that have been historically underrepresented. Because if you look at the demand for people, the kind of talent, the new skills they're going to have, we're going to actually have to draw from all of society, not just the traditional ways in which we've attracted people into the industry. So I think that's going to be an important role of SME, and I think a conversation that's going to continue to grow in these forums.